Hey guys, it's Megan. Thanks for stopping on over to another video. You and I, we need to talk about the newest season of Love Island because I am seeing a crazy amount of posts online that are making me question my reality. And I don't like that. It's like me and the internet are watching two different shows. Okay? And I feel kind of gaslit and I don't like that. So you and I, we need to discuss it. Specifically, what we need to discuss is Melanie and Sincere, and then I guess Sol, because she just came up. And just so y'all know, it is June 11th, and I haven't watched the newest episode that came out tonight, okay? So I'm not taking any of that into account. We just need to talk about what's going on, and I need to defend my girl Melanie, okay? Because the internet is calling her Huda 2.0, and that is wild. That is a wild take. And I'm not gonna do a full recap of this show, even though I really want to, and I think that'd be really fun. We're just mostly gonna be talking about Melanie and Sincere, insincere as some of the internet calls him, and I enjoy that. And just what's kind of been going on there, because the internet is acting like Melanie is like the devil. Like the craziest person, the messiest person that has ever entered the villa. And I feel like the people who are saying that have never seen Love Island. Because what do you mean she's crashing out? There is not a single time or like emotional, or there hasn't been a single moment that's filled with like crazy emotion on Melanie's side that I'm like, that's a crash out. Like, I've seen my fair share of Love Island crash outs, and Give Me 10 is not anywhere even like on the top 15 of Love Island USA crash outs. I haven't even seen UK, so I can't bring that into account, but I think y'all are going kind of crazy. Okay, so the closest thing to a breakdown I'll go is the tiniest little description of Love Island, because everyone knows what Love Island is. They bring a bunch of hot people onto an island. Right now I'm pretty sure it's in Fiji, and they all make out and play games and talk to each other and try to find their connection. And then America votes on certain things, whether it's like voting on coupling, not like coupling people up, but whenever they bring in new bombshells, new people, new hot people to like intermingle with. Like sometimes America can vote on which islander they want to go on a date with a bombshell, and then we pick at the very end, we pick like our top couple, and the person with the most votes, what do you know, they win the show and they win some money, right? That's like the barest description of Love Island that I can give you. It is a crazy wild show filled with a lot of saliva swapping, like a lot. And so this season, from day one, there is this one couple. I'm using air quotes because they're not a couple, they're not locked in, but they are coupled up. This one couple, Melanie and Sincere. I loved them in the beginning. They were my number one, which I know is crazy episode 1 because so many things change in the 6 weeks, 8 weeks? I don't know. Things change in that time. They seemed like they knew how to communicate. They seemed like they were vibing really well. Their conversations were filled with some substance. I enjoyed them a lot. So the problems began actually really early on, because we're only on episode 8 right now. 9 I think is coming out tonight, but it started really early on. I think in episode 2. Yeah, episode 2, whenever they did a challenge where they had all the islanders line up, and then islanders would come one by one and they'd read a little card that had a secret on it of another islander. And then they would go and they would push in the islander that they believed that secret belonged to. And it was just a fun little ha-ha hee-hee game. Right before this game, Melanie was talking about how she had trust issues and how she's been cheated on in the past. And she was just being vulnerable about some issues that she had, and being very self-aware of them. Wouldn't you know it, Sincere's secret in this game was that he has texted other people while he was in a relationship.
It was Sincere!
I'm shocked. I'm so shocked. All right, look, who hasn't?
And most of the girls were like, nope, can't say I have. Okay, so that was strike one. Melanie did start looking a little sideways at him. And I, as an anxious girly who also has trust issues, I understood that. Okay, she did have some crazy eyes going on, and I get it, because I would too, because she had just talked about these trust issues. But I think she kind of handled it pretty well. Okay, she took some time to herself. There were a couple of little hiccups in her reaction, but for the most part, she handled it pretty dang well. She talked it out with one of the other girls on the island, and everything was fine. She got over it. And the next day, I'm pretty sure it was the next day. Oh, things are kind of blurring. But there was a bombshell that came in, Kada. He didn't seem like he was interested in it at first, and then he pulled her for a chat. And he hadn't talked to his couple all day that day, but he pulled Kada for a chat. And I totally think that if Kada seemed like she was more interested, Sincere would have also been more interested.
Talking to my couple and I want to continue the connection that I do have with Melanie, but at the same time it's like, Kada, she has like crazy attributes. She's very confident, she's very beautiful, she, can hold a conversation and she's funny. So you can go fishing, you can be like, wow, I really like this fish. Get another one, wow, I really like this fish. Put in the spot. So like, it's not like just because you have two fishes, you gotta like put one back. Like you saw two fishes, like, wow, these are beautiful fish.
But nothing crazy happened during the chat. They didn't kiss, none of that fun stuff. And again, these people are not locked in, they are just coupled up. And it's really early days at this point. So at that point, they were just, like they had just talked about, yes, they were open, but they need to be honest and communicate with each other. It's the only way it was gonna work, is if they communicated. And I agree. Okay, like yes, just discuss boundaries, discuss what your plans are. We're all open at this point. It's like episode 2 or 3. Okay, we're all open, but it's the fact that he didn't talk to her at all that day, and then she found out from someone else that he had pulled Kada for a chat, and she just started spiraling a little bit in her head, and one of her girls calmed her down. She didn't do an outburst in front of the whole villa. She didn't do anything like that. It was discussed later on that it was just kind of maybe a miscommunication, not really miscommunication, but it was kind of a miscommunication. I think, again, she handled that pretty well. People were saying she didn't handle it well and that she crashed out about it.
I'm not pissed. I'm just like, I haven't even had a chance to talk to him today. And he chatted with her and I haven't even talked to him.
No, she had like 5 minutes where she cried to one of her friends, and like they talked it out, and then she was fine. And then she talked to Sincere, and like at the end of the day, everything was fine. There was maybe a night where things were a little rocky, like it was a little awkward in their bed, but at the end of like the next day, things were fine. Okay, they talked it out. Everything's fine. And then there was a point in that whole conversation before they made up where Mel was like, okay, you know what, if you want to explore, you explore, then I'm going to be Dora the Explorer and I'm going to explore too. I didn't enjoy the tit for tat. And I'm not saying that I've loved every single decision and every single thing that Melanie has done. But why would I? She's not me. I don't even agree with everything that I do. It is a heavily edited reality TV show, and we're just seeing a snippet, like an hour-long episode of their 24 hours that they're in the villa. Okay, 1, production's messy. I know things are heavily edited and probably making things look worse than they are. And then 2, emotions are heightened, and again, we're only seeing a small little tidbit. And again, I wouldn't consider that a crash out, because it was a heated conversation, like semi-heated. Like maybe if I touched it, I'd be like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't touch that. You know, if it was a burner, it'd just be, I'd touch it and I'd be like, okay, that's getting kind of warm. Okay, that's the level of conversation this was. There wasn't any raised voices. There was a little bit of pettiness in the conversation. And again, it's a TV show, okay? And things are heightened. Like, past Islanders have said that, you know, a month in the villa feels like 6 months. Like, things are sped up, things are heightened, okay? So give the girl some grace. And again, it wasn't the fact, for Melanie, it wasn't the fact that he pulled Kada. It was the fact that he didn't talk to her at all that day, like until the very end of the night is when they had their first conversation. And he was pulling Kata, and he was like, the day before had been telling her like how secure they were. Again, this is super early on, I'm aware of that. But it was the fact that his actions weren't matching his words. Okay, I understand feeling some sort of way about that. And again, she didn't call him out his name. She didn't go screaming all across the villa. None of this happened. There was no crash out in sight. Okay? And then the next thing that happens after she says, okay, tomorrow you're gonna explore, I'm gonna explore, in kind of a petty way. Like the next day, she does, a bombshell comes in, right? A bombshell comes in, and it's a guy that Mel describes as just her type. So she's gonna explore, because we're on what, episode 4 at this point? They're like 4 or 5 days in. So they're in Corbin is the new bombshell, and they're in he's in a semicircle with the girlies. All the girls are drooling over him. There's only one girl that's technically single in that group, and it's Kenzie. I love Kenzie. Anyway, there's only one single girl in there. Everyone was drooling over the new guy. And in a, what I assume to be heavily edited moment of that conversation, it seemed like in the middle, like everyone is chit-chatting, and it seems like after about 10 minutes of them talking, in the edited perspective, after about 10 minutes of them talking, Mel, almost like right after one of the girls stops talking, she immediately goes in like, hey, can I pull you for a solo chat? And she was leaning over, she was like really excited, she was talking to him. And a bunch of people online are saying she was, and some of the girls also thought she was just blocking the view of some of the other girls. Like some of the other girls couldn't see because she was so leaned forward and so like heavily eye contact with Corbin.
Red flag? Good question.
You know, I think I might have to talk to you one-on-one to figure that out.
You're right there, Mama. I know, I like that. That's what I see you.
I truly just think she wasn't self-aware in that moment. And later on, she basically said the same thing. She wasn't aware that she was doing that. But I truly just think she wasn't thinking about the other girls that were right next to her and how she might have been blocking their view. I too must, maybe I'm just projecting, because I am also kind of not self-aware a lot of the time. Not like in romantic situations, just in general in life. But she was, you know, she grabbed him for a conversation, for a one-on-one, and the girl started talking. They were like, I don't think that was cool. She basically just took him from us, and I think that Kenzie should have had the first chat because she's single, and that would have been the nice thing to do. Whatever. That was basically that whole conversation was basically led by a girl named Beatrice, right? I go back and forth on her, but again, that doesn't matter. So that conversation was led by Bea. And when Melanie comes back, she is all on cloud 9. She's smiling ear to ear. And she's like, he's so hot. Like, that was a fun conversation, blah, blah, blah. And Bea comes in and says, that was, you know, disrespectful of you. And we need to make you aware of your actions so that you can take accountability for your behavior and so you can correct yourself. And at first, Mel she goes, I apologize, I didn't realize I was doing that, like that was not my intention. And Bea keeps going. Bea keeps going, keeps saying like, you need to correct your behavior, whatever she says. She keeps going in the conversation. And you can see that Melanie is like getting a little irritated, getting a little defensive. You can see that. And then she gets up and she looks like she is about to cry. She also looks like she's heavily irritated and she just wants to go be alone. So she says, give me 10. She ends up saying it, one of the girls says, can I talk to you? And she said, where? she said right here on the couch, which is also where Bea was. And she said, I'm not getting on that fucking couch. Give me 10. Give me 10. Give me 10. She said it like 4 or 5 times. Again, some of it might have been edited by production. She might not have said it that many times. Even if she did, I don't particularly care. This is the biggest thing that people are calling a crash out, is Melanie saying, give me 10, give me 10, give me 10.
Melanie, can we have a chatty chat? Where? Back to the couch? I'm not going back to the couch. I'm not going back to the couch.
I don't think I said anything crazy.
I'm not going back to the couch. No, that's crazy. Give me 10. Give me 10.
I didn't know she was that sensitive.
Just know how much. Give me 10. Give me 10. Give me 10. Give me 10.
Personally, if another grown woman told me that I need to be aware of my behavior so I can take accountability for my actions and so that I can correct my behavior, a grown woman I had known for 4 days, I too would have felt some sort of way. It wasn't what she said, it was how she said it. I mean, it was kind of what she said, but it wasn't the contents of her message. That was the issue. It was how she said it. You are not my mother. You are not my partner. You're not going to tell me to correct my behavior. I don't like that. I didn't like how she said it. And another girl brought it to her attention that it was how she said it. And again, Melanie and Beatrice, they talked it out the next episode, and they may not be best friends in the whole world, but they did agree that she could have said it a different way, and that's kind of where it all went wrong. I don't think that a woman that feels like she needs to take, or really anybody that feels they need to take a moment to themselves in a highly like heightened emotion state, is crashing out. She said, give me 10 because she needed to go, or she was probably going to crash out. Okay, she prevented a crash out. And then she walked away again after saying, give me 10 about 6 times. She walked away, and then she started, one of her friends followed her, and they talked, and she cried, and she's like, she said, I really don't like being spoken to like this. It really frustrates me. And she said she was so mad that she was crying. And I get that mood. But I don't think that was a crash out. I too don't like being spoken down to and talked to like that. And I don't think a lot of people would. And people are saying that she's just fucking crazy, for reacting that way, and she's just too emotional. And there's nothing wrong with being emotional. But anyway, the internet went fucking crazy after that moment, right? She then talks to her partner, and she's like, just listen to me as a friend, because that she needed someone to talk to that wasn't immediately in that situation. And she told him the situation, and he comforted her, and he was like, no, I completely understand. I wouldn't like that either, because no one would like to be spoken to like that. So I don't know why we're acting like what Melanie did was fucking crazy and the worst reaction she could have done. If it was me in that situation, I would have acted up. I would have been nasty. Okay, not really. I would have cried a lot, but in my head I would have been real nasty. Okay, so I don't like that we're calling that slightly emotional reaction where she took herself out of the situation as a crash out. Wild. Or saying that she's just like Huda. We're all like, anyone that defends her is crazy just like her. And Huda, if you don't know from last season, people called her the crash out queen.
Don't play about what's mine. Like, what's mine is mine, and don't fucking touch it. I can already tell that the bitch doesn't fucking compare to me. Do I know her? No. Am I upset that she picked him for #1? Yes.
A middle finger flies.
He's a fucking bitch. What'd you say?
Come sit down. No, you're a fucking bitch.
Come sit down.
He's over here playing victim. You're a pussy ass bitch.
Keep it classy.
Like, fuck you.
And then one of the next more recent things that happened is they had a challenge where they had all the guys chained up on a bed or handcuffed to a bed. They had all the girls blindfolded. All the girls had a different color of paint that they would stick their hands into, and they, with their blindfold, would go on this giant bed and they would try to find their man. However they wanted to, whether that just be touching, whether that be kissing, however they wanted to. It's a challenge. It's day like 7 at this point, probably. And the challenges on Love Island have always been fucking crazy. So they go and, you know, by the end, there are some girls who like maybe touch or kiss, everyone except for Anaya. Is it Anaya? Yes, everyone except for Anaya was kissing up on people to find their couple. Some of the girls, you know, they kissed maybe 1 or 2 people, and as soon as they got to their partner, they stopped. Mel went to she found Corbin, or she kissed Corbin, and then she kissed Sincere, and then she went back to Corbin and went back to Sincere.
And I was like, these two kisses are good. So I'm like, which one is the best? Time. Get this one.
Man, like the whole back and forth with me and Corbin does it in front of my face. Like, come on, bro. Like, what is going on?
Shit, what am I supposed to do? Like, not show out? That's enough.
Wow.
And we weren't done. Like, I would probably still be kissing her right now.
And it was a messy moment, okay? It was messy. She went back and forth between them. She knew that it was 2 people. It's debatable on whether she knew that was Corbin or if she just knew that it was another guy. Because she knew who Sincere was, and she said it was easy to find it. She just was having fun. It's fine. It's fine. They're not in a relationship, and it's fine. But I also understand why he felt some sort of way about it, okay? I understand why he didn't particularly enjoy that situation, because he was watching a girl that he was developing feelings for go back and forth between him and another guy that she was talking to. I understand that, okay? Like I said, I don't love everything this girl's done. I have to defend her in a lot of parts because I think that it's way over, the reaction to her actions is way overblown. So then, like again, the girls are blindfolded, and then these bombshells come in. There's 3 new bombshells that come in while the girls are all still blindfolded. It is 2 incredibly beautiful women. Like the jaws were on the floor, okay? Like the guys, all of them, including Sincere, jaws on the floor. The bombshells came and they made out with everybody, and they had red paint, and so the guys all had red paint all covered on them, okay? And Sincere,
The most standout people for me was Corbin, Casey, and Sincere. I felt like Sincere was giving me like those eyes. Alright.
It's super fire. Like, isn't for a minute, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I did not want it to stop.
so he was very excited about this situation, okay? He's very excited about the new bombshells, and that's fine. Then once the girls took their blindfold off, all the girls chose their partner correctly, and then the girls took their blindfold off, and there was a boy bombshell that came in, who is to a T a girl named Kenzie's type. He's, okay, they call him a cowboy. He's just a dude with a southern accent, okay? But to a T, Kenzie's type. Kenzie is excited. And Melanie, Melanie looks like she's also very excited. She's hitting Kenzie with the pillow and she's jumping up and down and she's so excited while still handcuffed to her partner. And I took it as she was super excited for Kenzie, and that's why she was hitting Kenzie with the pillow, and she was just super excited that this cowboy came in, right? This southern guy came in for Kenzie. But some people online were like, no, she's doing that because she's a whore, is basically what I've been seeing. She's a whore and she's so excited for this new guy, and every bombshell that comes in, she's just so excited. They're all super excited every time a bombshell comes in, might I add. Guys and girls, all very excited when bombshells come in. But I digress. So I thought she was just doing it for Kenzie, and then the next episode, she says, yeah, because he is exactly Kenzie's type, and that's why I was hitting Kenzie with the pillow. And I was screaming at the TV like, yes, I told y'all. Maybe I just believe people too easily, but that's what I thought too. So she said that validated my feelings. And Sincere said at one point, he's like, that's not even kind of Kenzie's type, bro. And then like it cuts to Kenzie basically, and some other girls saying that was exactly Kenzie's type. So I'm feeling validated because other people also said that. But again, I can understand you're handcuffed to your partner and she's going fucking crazy for another guy, even though you are covered in red paint and just said that you wish that moment had never ended. But it's fine. So that's another crack in the armor, right? And then the new bombshell came in, and really, I don't think Melanie seemed like she was interested in him at all because he's not her type. So that's a whole thing. But Sincere, you can tell, is very into the bombshell named Soul. Okay, and I get it. I would marry this woman. Okay, I would marry this woman. Anyway, so I want to say it's the next day. Him and Melanie have a conversation. She's like, I understand. I was doing too much. And she genuinely looked so hurt that she had hurt his feelings so bad. And she says, I don't know, basically in her confessional, she's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm always just, I was doing too much, and I was just having fun, and I wasn't thinking about how he was feeling. Okay, she owned up to that. I understand that doesn't cure and fix everything, but she was taking accountability, and he didn't fully accept it, and that's also fine. You're allowed to not fully accept someone's apology as soon as they give it. That's totally fine. Just keep communicating and letting each other know where you're at. That's what matters. It's fine. So then he pulls Soul for a chat, right? And they kiss. Okay, she initiated that first one. I said first. So him and Soul kiss, and then at another point later on, they get pulled for a second chat, and they kiss again. But this time, he initiates.
I'm like a love at first sight kind of person, but I can definitely like gauge stuff. I was a big fan of our chat. I was a big fan of the kiss. Yeah, I want to have a lot of chats with you. I definitely am very willing to explore with you.
I like you too.
Yeah.
I really like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do I.
And he said that it's the best kiss that he's had in a very long time, and that, again, he wished it would never end. And he told Soul that he was feeling her and that he was very open to exploring. And Soul said, I'll let you tell Melanie like that this happened. And he said, I will if she asked. I didn't like that. What do you mean you will? You'll only tell her y'all kissed if she asked specifically if you kissed? Funnily enough, she does. She does. That conversation ends. Melanie walks in as soon as Soul's going out. I do think that production was being messy and did tell her to go up there. But anyway, they, cross paths. And she talks to Sincere and was basically asked about their chats, and then he was holding her hand and he was telling her no one could compare to you, which is not what he's been telling the boys or Soul. But anyway, he said, you know, Melanie, no one can compare to you. He was holding her 2 little fingers, and she asked if they kissed, and he said yes, but it was nothing. It was a little, he basically insinuated it was a little single kiss, and she asked if he initiated it, and he said no. She asked me to kiss. She asked me for the kiss.
We did kiss in Speakeasy.
Can't help wondering what you're thinking.
But it wasn't like nothing crazy. Like it was just a kiss. And I'm being honest with you here.
Who asked for the kiss?
She did. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask to kiss her.
Do you see yourself dating her outside the villa?
I mean, talked to her one time, twice, and that was really it. But no, I see myself on
But the
South Street with
conversation
you.
was intense enough for a kiss.
No, I just know that this shit is either gonna be the greatest story ever between us.
Or you'll end up with Soul.
Liar, liar, pants on fire. Not what happened. Okay, not what happened, and I didn't like that because he's making other people, like he's talking to the other islanders, I was gonna say villagers, the other islanders, and he's making it seem that he's kind of over Mel, and that, you know, basically that she's fucked him over one too many times, and he's gonna go see what else is out there. And then meanwhile, which would be fine, again, it is early days, no one is locked in, but were you or were you not just saying that this will only work if y'all are honest with each other and communicate, and then straight up lie to her face, downplay and then lie? Like it was both. It was both downplaying the situation and lying about the situation, and I don't mess with that. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. And you know what the internet is saying? The internet is saying a few things. One, they're saying, oh, he's scared of her, and so he's scared of her reactions and how she's gonna crash out because she's shown how emotional she is. One, so it's okay to lie to somebody because you're scared of their reaction after knowing them for a week and after she's had a couple of slightly elevated emotions so far. Like, she didn't crash out with Kata, and you know, she handled it like a champ. She was smiling while she could hear everyone make out with her man on that bed. She was smiling whenever all of the boys were doing the challenge before, where they were making out with people that weren't in their couples, and some of the guys were like, y'all, we're doing too much in this bed challenge. Meanwhile, there was like dry humping in the challenge before that the guys were initiating with people that weren't in their partners, including Mr. Insincere here. So I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear about doing too much whenever the challenge before y'all were all doing way too much to people that weren't your partners. And you know what, again, I'll say it for the 1,000th time. That's fine, but don't be hypocritical about it. And even if you're scared she's gonna crash out, would it not be less of a reaction and better if you told her now a week in rather than letting her find out from Soul, which she will, or at movie night 3 weeks from now, which she will? She's gonna find out what happened. They always find out what happens. And and at that point, she might crash out. And you know what? At that point, I think she'd be fully justifiable if she went full yelling. And I don't think she will. I don't think she will, but if she does, You brought this on yourself. And that's another thing that people are saying. People are saying she brought this on herself and that she's been playing in his face, so it's his turn to play in her face. Okay, again, tit for tat. This tit for tat bullshit is crazy. Okay, they are two grown people, and if he feels like she's doing too much and that she deserves this, then he can break things off with her and go. They can both happily explore without having to think about the other person. Okay, but also everything that she has done has been in a challenge, and I know, like, to some people that doesn't mean anything, but historically in Love Island, the challenges basically don't. I mean, some people have some feelings about challenges. Like some of the Islanders will have feelings regarding the challenge. But for the most part, the challenges are just that. They're challenges. Everyone's kissing everyone. Everyone's doing the most. That is the history of the game. Sincere is out here kissing soul outside of challenges. He is the only person that is kissing someone else outside of their partnership outside of challenges. Well, at this point he was. Then we won't talk about game. And we just won't talk about that right now. But for the most, at this point, he's the only one that's kissing outside of his partners. And then again, lying about it. Oh, and then the third thing that people are saying is that he's scared to hurt her feelings. And you know what? I feel like maybe I'm reacting hard to that because I've had men cheat on me and then specifically tell me like you're just so nice that I was scared of hurting your feelings. I was scared to break up with you because like I didn't want to make you sad. I didn't want to make you upset. You think cheating on me will make me less upset? Because it won't. It won't. It'll make me go kind of crazy. And I know it's not cheating. I know that what he's doing is not cheating because they are not together. They are not closed off. They've not had that conversation. Again, it is so early. But that is no excuse to go play in someone's face. At least everything that Melanie is doing is in front of everyone else. Like, everyone is aware because it's in challenges and everyone can see, everyone knows what's going on. What Sincere is doing is behind everyone's back, and then he's saying different things to the Islanders that I truly feel are kind of turning them against Melanie a little, turning some of them against Melanie, and I don't like that. I really think he's playing like a whole different game that I just don't enjoy watching anymore. And I don't understand this like crazy amount of hate that Melanie is getting. Again, she's not crashing out. She is like reacting to some emotional situations in pretty like cooled down ways. Like, it's not, I don't know how else to say, it's not over the top. Like, yes, again, I think she was, she was doing too much sometimes. Who isn't? Everyone has been doing a little too much. And you know what? Maybe that means that it's not too much. Maybe nothing anyone is doing right now is too much. But everyone's just being a little bit hypocritical because their emotions are in the way. And that's human. It's human to get a little, to say something, and then once you experience it, be like, okay, maybe I do feel some type of way about this situation now that it's actually happening to me. Totally normal, totally human. But what we're not going to do is villainize this woman who is just reacting to things that are happening to her. Like, and you can't say she brought this on herself because, again, no one deserves to be like lied to and I do think manipulated a bit and gaslit into just because you're a little hurt. Like, I don't like that. You can communicate your feelings, you can break it, and or you can break things off. But what we're not going to do is straight up lie to someone's face. And yes, there have been some moments that I don't think Melanie's been 1000% truthful whenever she said she didn't know it was Corbin she was kissing. I do think she knew it was Corbin that she was kissing. She said she thought it was someone else, and some people say, well, that's not the point. The point is that she went back and forth between someone and Sincere. Whether that was Corbin is irrelevant. And I think it's relevant, actually, because Corbin is the one that is like the competition for Sincere. So I do think that it stung more because it was Corbin. But people, I feel like they're just being intentionally obtuse about that situation. So I don't actually know. Melanie might not have been lying. She did say she knew it wasn't Sincere. So like she owned up to that, but people are acting crazy, okay? That is just the whole point of this video. People are acting crazy. And I hope I get enough clips that I put in this video, and I know that I'm just rambling at this point, but I just had to come here and rant about this situation because it makes me feel some sort of way to see people get like talked to or treated to a certain way like on the island, and then to read all these awful comments about this 24-year-old who I don't think is being delusional or crazy or anything like this. Like, again, I don't agree with everything. And why would I? Like, I'm not her mama. I'm not her man. I don't, like, it doesn't matter to me that I don't fully agree with everything she said. I'm not going to talk down to her. I'm not going to post on social media talking like she's this crazy delusional whore, manipulative, because she cried. Like, there's also a trend this season where anytime a girl cries, like while she's talking to her partner, they're like, she's manipulating him. Free him. He's a grown man. If he wants to be freed, he can free himself. They've known each other for less than 10 days. If they want to be freed, they can free themselves, but they're not going to, because one, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have options, and that's fair. It's fair. Well, it's fair to want to have options. It's not fair to not be upfront and communicate with that, especially if you were someone who every episode has been advocating so hard for communication and honesty and trust and blah, blah, blah. Damn, I didn't realize I'd been ranting so long that my SD card said, hey, the maximum recording time has been reached. That's crazy. So I should wrap it up. Moral of the story, if he wants to free himself, he can free himself. 2, calm the fuck down. It is a reality show. And you know what? That might be hypocritical for me to say, because look at me ranting for an hour about Love Island. But that's just because I feel some type of way whenever people get treated poorly for things that personally I don't think are that crazy. Like, people are just going so hard on this woman. They're going so hard. They're calling her all these nasty, awful names. Y'all, like, the new fans of this show since last season have been so toxic. And I swear, purposefully obtuse about these situations. They're just like, they see one thing and then they completely interpret it a different way in the nastiest way possible. And for some reason, they're all defending the men. I'm sorry. Why? Why are we doing that? I support women's rights and women's wrongs, but also, they don't need your saving. They really don't. If they want to leave, they can. Both their couple and the show, if they want to, they can. It's happened. So why are we acting like they need to be freed and they need us fans to weigh in so that the production team knows that we don't want Melanie. I want Melanie. I love Melanie. Okay? I would be friends with Melanie, and I love Melanie so much, and I need y'all to calm down and stop being mean to my girl. If she fully crashes out, really at this point, I understand. And y'all gotta remember that these are real freaking people. Like, yes, some people may be putting on a front because they are being filmed, but also they're being filmed 24/7, and I do feel like it'd be hard to fully put on a front 24/7. I'm not saying it's not possible, but they're being sleep deprived. They have no access to really, like, I'm pretty sure any music. Like, they can't just go and listen to music. They can't just go on social media. They can't read a book. They can't do anything other than interact with each other in this island. They don't have access to clocks. They don't know what time it is. They don't get like I said, they don't get enough sleep. They're drinking. Like, things are gonna be heightened. People aren't gonna react in a way that you agree with 100% of the time. That does not give you the right to be nasty as all can be online, because these people will get off this island and they will see these things, and I don't think anyone would like to read these things about themselves. It's just like, it's so awful. So just calm down, enjoy the reality show. You can enjoy the messiness of it all. That's fine. Like, it's what it's there for. It's there to entertain you. But you gotta remember, this is a heavily edited reality TV show. These people are going through a lot. Like, they're getting put through a lot. And they're real people. Just calm down and enjoy the show. And, you know, like I said, I love Melanie. And if my opinion changes completely about her, my point still stands. Even if, like, I watch this episode here in about 5 minutes and I decide that she is the nasty, like, the worst person on earth, I won't. But even if that were to happen, my point still stands about how fucking awful and obtuse people are being about this season. So let's all just freaking kumbaya, calm down, and, like, be nicer. Is that so hard? Is that so hard? And also, feel free to leave your comments down below, but also maybe don't be, like, so mean to me, because I won't wait 6 to 8 weeks to see your comments. I will see them as soon as you post them, and I too am emotional. So you know what? You tell me your thoughts down below. Be humane. And let's all enjoy this freaking reality TV show together. And that's that. And that's that. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you for watching. And I will see you guys when I see you. Bye.